So today's blog is actually inspired by Tom Gifford, who's a director at the YMCA in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He wrote me this really nice email. We're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I've been using RunSignUp since 2015, and I wanted to send a note about how impressive it is with what your company has built. It is always great to see how your company never stops looking at ways to offer new features. So today's talk is going to be about continuous improvement.
We view ourselves in partnership with our customers. We're successful when you're all successful. Our job is to basically build technology that all of our customers can benefit from.
So continuous improvement, this is kind of one of my foundational principles as well. I feel like life is about continually improving and just making these small little incremental steps kind of on a daily basis. And I kind of have a couple of influences in my life for that. Well, plenty, but I'll talk about two. The first is I went and ran at Bucknell, and I was kind of an okay runner in high school. And Coach Goulden was the coach there, very famous because he took a bunch of average people like myself and made them pretty decent. We followed the Lydiard style of training, which was a lot of long, slow distance. So pretty much every day, most of the year, I would run 5 miles in the morning and 10 miles in the afternoon. And basically, if you do a little bit like that every day, you can't help but get better. And that's what happened with us and our team. And we took this bunch of average non-scholarship kids, and we actually went to the NCAA tournament our senior year for the cross-country championships in Wisconsin. But that's a story for another day. The other influence for me is this guy by the name of Kosuke Kawaguchi, who I've worked with at CloudBeast for a number of years. And Kosuke is the inventor, creator of an open source project called Jenkins. And Jenkins is known as a continuous integration server. And what that does in the software world is it allows software developers to automate kind of the build and release of their software. And it includes the ability to plug in lots and lots of different tools. But basically, it enabled this idea of instead of releasing maybe once a year, you would release continuously all the time. And learning from Kosuke and everything, when we kind of set up our development environment in RunSignUp, we really took that to heart. And it's really one of our defining characteristics as a company is that we just know how to release a lot of software very incrementally, repeatedly. So we typically release 2,000 releases of our software. We're a single SaaS platform, single database and everything, and well, lots of shards and stuff, but we're the single big system that we continuously release on. In the blog that I wrote about this, I actually put a list of the 31 releases that we had made over the previous 2 days and the developers who had made those releases. And some of those you won't understand, but they're all kind of small steps along the way. And you know, people who use us for a long time, they'll see this in kind of the new next generation website that we're building, capabilities we're building, the new next generation email system that we're putting out there is all of a sudden you'll see between clicks, oh, there's a new feature. Oh, that looks a whole lot better. And if we make this continuous improvement along the line, we just get better and better and better. And over a long period of time, you just can't help but get better, just like I did in college. Brian Jenkins at our company coined this term, I'm a 10-year overnight success, which I love. The other couple of topics about continuous improvement and what we do in our own company is we do continuous improvement to our infrastructure. A lot of people will, like a lot of software companies, will just put up their infrastructure and then kind of forget about it. We don't do that. Every month we do updates to the software. A lot of that is for security purposes, to patch it and things like that. But many companies, many SaaS companies out there don't have the diligence to do that. Every year we do an upgrade of all of our servers. We just did this about a week ago, and like our server infrastructure all got new hardware basically from Amazon that's about 20% more cost effective, so we can process 20% more transactions. And then we continually take on these infrastructure improvements to make it better and better. We recently brought on this past fall a full-time DevOps person to help us in that effort. The final thing I'll talk about in terms of continuous improvement kind of goes back to one of those guiding principles that I talked about in an earlier video, learning. So we believe that people have to continue to learn and get better. Now, part of that is just learning all these 2,000 releases that we make every year and trying to keep up with that. But also part of it is just getting better at their job. I remember a couple of years ago, Ryan Snell, who's a development manager here, and I were sitting down and we were like, we just hired a bunch of really talented young software developers. How do we get them better? And what we decided to do is every Friday for about an hour and a half or 2 hours, we're going to get together and the developers are going to kind of round robin and share what they did during the week and dive into the code and show the code and either explain what creative thing that they did and how they did it and why they did it that way. Or if they're struggling with something, they can ask for help in that session. And they have these other developers around them and they can collectively come up with the best decision. And when that decision gets made, they all learn from that. So what's happened over those past 2 years is the developers have gone from this level of productivity and capability to this level of capability. And it's been this nice, smooth, upward path. And do you know what's going to happen? It's going to continue to go on. They're going to continue to get better, and we're going to get better as a company. So that's what continuous improvement is all about. It's about slow and steady. It's not about making some sort of magical quarterly number or some sort of short-term benefit or hiring some superstar that's going to fix everything. It's about continuous improvement along the way. So in the spirit of continuous improvement, we will continue to put these out. And if you like what you've seen in the past, you can subscribe. And if you like it, press the little up thumb. And if you don't like it, please click on the Saturday Night Live video on the side.